Alright, so this video is going to show you how I get how I pick and choose which mods I run through Aslan's. So I guess without further ado, this is going to go through the whole entire process of downloading, picking the right mod, the mod pack, getting it downloaded to your PC, and then installing the actual mods and picking and choosing all your options. So first thing, you're going to want to shut down the game. So World of Tanks cannot be running while you're doing this installation. Okay, second thing, make sure you have the most current build. So go to aslan.com, download World of Tanks mod pack. When this pops up, so we are on build number 10, so I don't need to download that because, as you'll see, I have build number 10 right here. So what you're going to need is to make sure that you have that file right there, Aslan's installer options, and this file right here, run me first. Now, before we get started, I'm just going to reinstall the mod pack. I've already got it installed right now, but I'm going to do a reinstall just to walk us through this. So we are going to need to turn off Norton Internet Security for this. So whichever internet security you use, on my family, we happen to use this. So we go into settings. After we right click that Norton 360, okay, settings, and then we click antivirus, and then this little bar up top, we go to data protector, click that off, hit apply, and then 15 minutes should be good enough for this installation. So we'll close that, switch back to this screen. Hit run me first, and this pops up. So you click to load the installer, so this button on the left, and you navigate to this folder where all your different mod packs are installed. Click on the most recent one, so that's loaded, and now click this to run the installer. That'll take a few seconds to spin up. We're going to have to click yes on the dialog box. This, and this, and this. Bring this over here. Now, I always run with Go Preview Window, but you can choose not to if you want. Click Next. This just says what, it's the TOS kind of stuff. Click Next. This shows you what's new in this build, what's new in the last build before this, and before that, and all the way down. Okay, I just click Next. Now, this screen, you got to navigate to where World of Tanks NA is. So, for most of you, it's probably going to be C, Games, World of Tanks, but you're going to want to pick the folder that says World of Tanks NA. So I moved mine. I've got it running off a different hard drive. So I go here, and I just select World of Tanks NA. I've also got Common Test installed, so I can do the mods for that too. But if you got NA or Asia or, the Common Test servers, you got to do this for all three of them. So 3 separate installations. So you click Next, and this pops up. I leave the OTM Aslan's. Okay, first line over HP bar, I do vehicle name. Second line, I don't do anything. Left side of HP bar, I do Roman tier number. Right side, I uncheck that. Rating marker icon, I make that the dot. That's fine the way it is. Floating damage text, I do white text with colored outlines. So if I do damage, it's white text with a yellow outline. My platoon mates do damage, it's the same thing. Damage taken size, I do default 18. Angel Wings for allies and Nuke Icon for enemies. This is all personal preference. You can do whatever you want. This just gives you an example of how it's going to look when good guys get killed and bad guys get killed. So I do Angel Wings for good guys, Nuke Icons for the bad guys. Vehicle HP, I use just current because I really don't care how much HP they started off with. I care about how much they have right now. I don't do percentage either. Scroll down, that's all good. Now I do panels by Quickie Baby. Now I really don't have to do anything else because those panels are actually pretty decent. They give me a lot of information that I care about. Again, that's all personal preference. You can play with what you want. There's some that will give you, you know, how many battles the player has in that tank and what their rating is for that tank. Mine shows up in a color. So if they're good at a tank, they'll show up green or above. If they're not so good, they'll show up orange or red. So I just scroll on down to the mini map. Now, right. Where is icons for destroyed tanks? That's the only change I make to this. Oh yeah, and then short names on the mini map. Other than that, I generally leave that alone. Artillery site, I pick number 7. Scroll down further to damage done logs, and the one I pick is integrated XFT. So your damage done, damage received, and that one will come up later as we scroll down further. But it's all right down here, bottom left corner of the screen, right beside the vehicle info panel. So that works good for me. Efficiency counters, I do counters on top of screen. So up here, I do green versus violet because I do stream once in a while. That's for colorblind. Red-green colorblind. Go down here to 6 cents. I do the orange bulb because it's kind of translucent, so my white indicator, it shows through this. Some of the other ones don't let you see that. Scroll down here, I hide combat intelligence and daily quest goals in the garage, so that just doesn't show up for me. I do the clock in the garage. I like to know what time it is without looking around. Scroll down to this stuff. So this is our garage, right? So how everything looks. So this is the one I picked, and you can see when I'd expect damage here, average damage for battle, battles played, your hit ratio, battle tiers for this tank, mastery mark, and your MOE percentage, and then here's your tank name. So that works pretty good for me. A lot of information that I like to see, so that's the one I usually pick. Then we scroll down, and I do in battle clock. Actually, I'll leave that one unchecked because it's already done. Team win 8, position number 2. So that's right. So damage counters up here, win 8, and win chance right here. And that's only that. It's not the be all end all, right? It's just an indication of how good your team is if they're playing the way they should. Okay, so I pick aim time, flight time, shell speed, and I change color from white to green, so that all shows up right where I'm aiming. This is the HP marker that I use, so if you're up HP, the number will show up in the green. If you're down HP for your team, it'll show negative here. And of course, this is all frags. Marker style, I use main. And then I keep on scrolling. So we're down in the non-XFM mods branch, so the vehicle contour icons. I pick Webium style because that's fairly, pink for heavies, yellow for mediums, blue for TDs, already green? Yeah, no, lights are green. Already the brighter pink. Yeah, that's it. It makes sense when you're in game. It also shows you tech tree tanks. So the tier number will show up in white, reward tanks in red, premiums in yellow. And then the actual name of the tank, it's fairly easy to read. So then I keep on scrolling down. We get down to the Arty zoom out. So that I pick 100. Then scroll down to here, 300 max. Do the disable gun shake effect after shot. And everything else I pretty much leave. Get down to here, PMod server crosshair. I pick fancy blue because I like the arrows. And then toggle with hotkey J. Now you gotta keep in mind when you're typing in chat, you can actually shut that off. So make sure you're keeping that in mind. If your server reticle disappears, you might have to click J again. Okay, scroll down all the way through here, keep on going. Nothing really to touch there. We get to aim helping mods. I do block shooting at allies because I just don't want to shoot my teammates when I'm playing comp. So I do strongholds. Occasionally advances, but Clan Wars is coming up, so I'd rather not shoot my teammates and kill them. So I turn that on. I keep on scrolling down. So we're back to the received damage logs. So again, I told you a little while ago, we scroll down and keep on finding these. So I do integrated config by XFT, and that's where we get the damage received. Keep on going, hit logs, non-XVM. I pick Win8 damage, effectiveness, and credits. And that's gives me this little bar up here that I can move wherever I want on the screen. MOE calculators, I pick Lebwa with not a transparent background, because if you get on lighter maps, that can be really hard to read. So I keep the shaded background, and that looks pretty good. Okay, requesting fire. I do the yellow marker, the yellow arrow above the bad guy, and on the map, you'll see that will scroll down and come across that later. I pick the aim circle on the map. Keep on scrolling, keep on scrolling. Okay, we're back in the Sixth Sense. So orange bulb number 1. And then we get down to the sounds. I pick timer 1. 10-second duration, you can hear that sound. And then I pick the Star Wars Imperial Siren for the sound detection, so Arty shots. Down here, I don't limit my FPS, but I do remove fog and sun glare. Makes it a little easier to see on some maps, like as you can see, Tundra. Takes some of the glare and the sun rays away. Scroll past all this. And that. Okay, we're down here. Okay. Anonymizer on battle results. So if someone anonymizes their name in game, you can see their actual name afterwards in the battle results screen. Replays manager, I always collect that because I like to see replays sometimes. I like to turn them into videos. Battle hits viewer, yeah, I like that on. Random tank selection as well, and extended to friends and blacklist. Keep on scrolling. Make sure you don't accidentally check something as you're scrolling. Just scroll, don't press anything. Okay, we get down to crew sounds, and we skip past all this stuff, and then we get to all voices to American. So no matter what country your tank is from, it's nice to be able to understand what happened to your modules, what happened to your crew. On scrolling. I used to do the painted rollers, but that's no fun anymore. Like, you know, they show up white so you can see each individual roller. I think that's probably a bit too much. I used to do no dirt as well. I don't care anymore. Enhanced camo, again, that uses up resources. I'd rather, you know, have a higher FPS. I do change the MOE. So I use version 6, changes Soviet star to the Ukrainian coat of arms. That's personal preference. And all Soviet flags to Ukrainian. I also do that. Now we get down to the mini-map mods. I do turn these on for pressing the Alt key. So you press the Alt key, these little dots show up on the map, show you where lights, TDs, already common spots for those. Keep on scrolling. Now marker on the mini-map, aim circle. So on the mini-map, whichever bad guy or teammates tee up, they'll show up a little yellow aim circle around them. So that one I click. It's nice to know. Keep on going. Now we're down at the bottom, so all we have to do is click next. Like, okay, I haven't figured out which one that is yet, but it gets automatically shut off, so it doesn't really matter to me, I guess. Okay, here. All right, click next, click install, and that is doing everything for me. That finishes. Now I can open up the game. And the way the mods used to work, you used to have to open up the game and then shut it down and then open it up again, because not everything would show up, you know, perfect or the way I wanted it to. Some of the indicators in the garage weren't showing up, but lately it's been pretty good, so not having any issues. Last couple of builds. Switch this to the actual game screen, and that opens up. What we could do, find in and update XVM. So we'll do that. So XV mod, that should XVM mod for World of Tanks official website. You go here, sign in, region, North America, close the ad. Now we'll do the wargaming.net confirmation. That shows me, update stats, might as well. Along that, so it'll go to 13 days, 23 hours, basically 2 weeks. And I can shut that down. Shut down Aslan's. Hit play on the game. Switch over to the game so I can turn on game audio. I'd switch screens to, just so you know that I haven't disappeared. Still here. The game's just taking a little while to log in. Okay, now we'll switch again. Oh, we got game audio. Alright, so here is that. You can drag it around wherever you want. Tend to keep it right there. What we'll do is we'll go into a game so I can show you how everything looks. Not going to play the full game, but I will show you a few minutes, and then at some point I'll stop the recording. Loaded in pretty quick. So here's all the information that you have access to, right? Win rates with XVM. So I usually turn that off, so I get player rating, percentage, put on all 4. You see all this extra stuff. Yeah, got the name, player rating, the tune they're in, what kind of tank they're in. That works pretty good. This guy I usually move over here. That's just kind of hidden. My LOE up there. I think that'll probably be it for the recording. So until next time, happy tanking, and go keep one thing in mind. When you log in, if they've released a new build, it'll pop up in the middle of your screen when you open up the game. So you give the option to download it, it'll take you right to that website. And you can download the new build and all that again. Don't get too far behind in terms of